Hi, today I'll recap a 2001 crime drama movie classic, Training Day. Welcome back to Recap Relay. Spoiler 1 is up ahead. Grab some popcorn, get comfortable, and enjoy. In the opening scene of the film, Jake is shown waking up on his first day of his new job as an undercover drug officer in the poorest neighborhood in Los Angeles. Alonzo, the leader of his group, is assisted by 4 other men. Alonzo will take little Jake riding with him today so he can show him the streets and gauge how well the kid handles pressure. When Jake first meets Alonzo at a tiny coffee shop, he quickly learns that the man is a maverick drugs officer who speaks harshly and takes no prisoners. For the following few hours, we are being shown drug dealers and rapists and moving from the ghetto to the barrio. Alonzo appears to know every evil person in the world, which reveals a lot about him. In the ghetto, he even resides with a woman and his son. Behind his back, everyone in that particular neighborhood despises Alonzo's abuse of power. In addition, Alonzo assures Jake that he can expedite his advancement within the division. If you're enjoying this video and you are receiving value, smash that like button so that the video can reach a larger audience. And let's get back to the movie. When Jake notices a young girl about to be raped while driving past an alleyway, he yells for Alonzo to stop the car. Since stopping is not his intention, he is unwilling to do so. Before Jake can get out of the car and save the girl, he gets into a heated argument with 2 of the males. After Jake kicks their asses and comforts the girl, Alonzo appears, briefly torturing the 2 men before sending them on their way. After the girl quickly leaves, Jake discovers her wallet on the ground and snatches it without realizing. Alonzo brings Jake to the home of Roger, an old buddy of his who is a retired LAPD veteran and now a side drug dealer. Together, they chuckle a little bit and share a drink. When Roger questions Alonzo about an event that occurred when he was recently on vacation in Las Vegas, Alonzo dismisses the question, stating it's not a big deal. Everywhere they go, Alonzo intimidates or shakes down the bad men to get away with more money and more narcotics. At one point, Alonzo holds a pistol to Jake's head and makes him smoke marijuana laced with PCP, threatening to shoot him if he refuses. Jake obviously doesn't agree with what's happening, but Alonzo explains to him that the only way to kill the wolves and save the sheep is to turn into a wolf. After puffing on some marijuana, Jake drives a few miles while stoned. They go to a lunch meeting with some prominent Los Angeles judges, but all we can really discern is that they're not the most law-abiding citizens. They also inquire about Las Vegas from Jake, to which Alonzo responds in a manner reminiscent of his interaction with Roger. He appears unconcerned. He requests a search warrant, which is granted by the judges. After Alonzo and Jake reunite with the other 4 members of the team and grab the warrant, they break into a small house. It turns out that Roger owns the house and that a total of $4 million is hidden under the floorboards. The $3 million in the stash will be split among Alonzo and his friends. Jake is highly uncertain about the outcome of the deal. As they rehearse their strategy in Roger's living room, Alonzo orders Jake to shoot Roger. Alonzo performs the action on his own after Jake declines, stating, "It's not what you know, but what you can prove." In order to make the act appear like self-defense, Jeff will be shot with one of Roger's guns. After being shot, one of the bullets pierces Jeff's vest, and he furiously begs Alonzo to dial 911 for help. Abruptly grabbing the shotgun, Jake tells Alonzo and his group he won't be playing alone. When Alonzo informs Jake that a blood or urine test will prove that he has used drugs, Jake eventually backs down. When the paramedics show up and Jake steps down and backs up, it appears that the crime goes unpunished. Jake informs Alonzo that what happened back there was murder when they get back to his car. Alonzo challenges, claiming that Roger sold drugs to children in his community and that they should have kept the money because it was filthy. At one point, Alonzo appears to give in. Jake is still a novice and will need some time to come to terms with Alonzo's unscrupulous activities. They make their way to the barrio, where Alonzo informs Jake that he must deliver some supplies to the informant's family. Jake waits in the kitchen where a card game is being played while Alonzo uses the restroom. After Alonzo leaves a package, Smiley, the home's owner, opens it and has his sister count the money inside. As Jake and Smiley's guys settle down to play cards, a quick conversation arises regarding Jake's sidearm, a ruse employed by Smiley's friend Moreno to take Jake's weapon away from him. Then Smiley tells him that Alonzo abandoned him and tells what transpired in Las Vegas. A Russian mobster had supposedly been teasing Alonzo until the latter lost his cool and beat the man to death. Alonzo was given a way out by the gangsters' bosses, pay them $1 million, and they forget about the whole thing. Alonzo will be found and killed if he does not have the money by midnight. Jake makes a valiant effort to fight his way out, knowing that he has been set up by Alonzo, but Smiley and his men defeat him. As they are about to shoot him in the head, they drag him into the bathroom, and one of them takes his wallet first. The pink wallet he found from the rape scene earlier that day pops out of his pocket. When Smiley angrily questions Jake about how he obtained the wallet, Jake responds that he had prevented his cousin Letty from being beaten and sexually assaulted earlier. When Smiley calls Letty, she verifies Jake's account. Smiley chooses to release Jake in exchange for his helping to save his cousin. As Alonzo is packing up his $1 million to give to the Russians, Jake boards a bus, travels to the worst part of South Central, where he lives, and confronts him. There is a shootout in the house, on the roof, and throughout the neighborhood streets for the next 10 minutes or so. At last, Alonzo is momentarily rendered unconscious when Jake forces him to crash his car. After pulling him from the car, Jake points a gun at him. After he heals, all of the gang members surround him and Jake as they stand face to face in the street. Gang members decline Alonzo's offer to turn the person who shoots Jake into a very rich man because they are sick of his ego and his dominance over them. Alonzo shouts as Jake leaves with the money, leaving him to face his destiny. After getting into his vehicle, Alonzo heads for the airport. A group of vans force his car to stop, and he manages to escape the armed Russians before they shoot him dead. As Jake gets home, the movie ends as we catch up on news reports about the death of a highly decorated drug enforcement officer who was shot and killed while looking into drug trafficking at the airport. What do you think about this movie? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this recap and want more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And before you go, click on one of the videos you see on your screen, and I will see you in the next video.